Monongahela is a charming little city in western Pennsylvania, but we all know that small towns can be the settings of big scandals. There, in the historic Monongahela Cemetery, stand the gravestones of two Civil War veterans who, on a fateful night in 1881, found themselves in a drunken brawl that ended in the first murder in Monongahela City. The story of what happened in the first hours of April 17th can best be told by the eyewitnesses who gave sworn statements. Mr. Fred Lehman said, "There was a fuss in my saloon. They did not get a keg of beer from me." Scotty Stewart added, "I saw Tom Forsythe and the other party come with a keg of beer. Then Tom Forsythe and Tom Meredith started down the railroad track. The Haywoods followed. The oldest Haywood threw off his coat and wanted to fight. Then the other did the same. The two Toms ran. Forsythe lifted a stone. Jonas Haywood got to tussling with him. Tom cried out, 'He's got a revolver!' I saw the pistol. They were both tussling for its possession. I don't know whose it was, but the result was that Jonas got possession of it. Jonas Haywood got Tom Forsythe around the neck with his left arm, bending him down, his head and neck under his breast like, and gave him 3 or 4 smashes with the revolver. Tom cried, 'Stop! Stop! That's enough!' I was standing close by, attempting to stop the fight when the shot went off. Tom dropped. Jonas ran down the railroad. Tom never spoke. I lifted him up and asked him to speak, but he was dead. I called out, 'There's a man murdered!' Mr. Simon Schaefer lives on Factory Street. The murder took place in front of his house. He said, 'I had a toothache that night, so I was awake. I went to the porch when I heard the shot. The moonlight was bright enough for me to see Jonas Haywood holding a pistol. I saw the flash, and he tossed it in the weeds.' Mr. Joseph Bergen said, 'I could see the Haywood brothers went down the railroad about 20 steps and stood together. I called out, 'That's a dirty trick. Whip a man, then kill him.' William Barringer was the first man who got there. I heard Scotty say to him, 'You're at the bottom of all of this.' Barringer disclaimed it. Finally, Miss Adelia Barringer said, 'I was crying when they were fussing about the beer, so I went upstairs. Father and Jonas came inside after the shooting and I came down. I asked Jonas, 'Who's murdered?' He said, 'Tom Forsythe.' I asked, 'Who did it?' He answered, 'He shot himself.' I went to my room and locked the door and went to bed. I heard Jonas go out during the night sometime, but I did not see him again." Friends and family of Thomas Forsythe promised vengeance and offered a cash reward for Haywood's arrest, sparking a nationwide manhunt that would eventually lead to his capture. As the trials unfolded, Meshach Haywood and William Barringer were implicated as accessories to the murder. Both were acquitted, with the jury finding that they were not directly responsible for Forsythe's death. Jonas Haywood was initially convicted of first-degree murder, but he was granted a new trial, eventually pled guilty to second-degree murder, and sentenced to 9 years in the penitentiary. In November 1895, Jonas Haywood's brother-in-law reported that Jonas had been killed in a Cambridge, Ohio mining accident. He left behind a wife and children. The questions linger. What drove these men to commit the first murder in Monongahela City? Was it the trauma of war, the stress of mining work that pushed them to violence? All that remains is the enduring legacy of war, the forgotten Monongahela mines, and the quiet peace of the cemetery.